Welcome to In Style, Cooking and Community. I'm Kathy Tillery, and I'm so thankful you're here with us today. We're trying to get our community back together and do some wonderful things with cooking. And Susan Shipman is here with me, and she is our co-host. And hopefully we will be warming up your home with lots of food and community guests right here on this TV station, and actually throughout. There's a lot of websites in there, Facebook.
There's live streaming and Facebook, yes.
Many ways that you can actually watch us online or on the TV channels. So hopefully if you're joining us in Calhoun County, or if you're joining us in Etowah County, Sylacauga, maybe as far as Auburn,
yes.
Birmingham, we're glad you're here with us. We're going to give you a little bit of cooking every show, and then also some great community guests. And if you would like to be a community guest, please email us, or actually you could just text us through the website, through WEAC, correct?
WEAC TV 24.
TV 24, yes. So you're welcome to do that as well. Today we have a wonderful guest, Jerod Snider, that's here with us.
Thank you, so glad to be here.
And we're going to talk to him more in depth during our community segment that'll be after this wonderful cooking segment. So now I'm going to turn it over to Susan Shipman.
Very good.
And she is going to take off the cooking here. What are we cooking today, Susan?
We are making French toast today. French toast is a favorite with coffee on the side, and so I wanted to do something kind of breakfasty, and I haven't done French toast for a really long time, so excited about doing that. We're going to use some eggs from my chickens in the French toast mix. Do you want to go ahead and get started with
wait, I have to ask. You have your own chickens?
We do. We have chickens. We have 4 chickens now, and we have 5 ducks, and 3 of those are hens. And so I might get 4 eggs a day on a good day. We've been having conversations. I tell the chickens, this is your only job. And they're not really doing a great job at it, but they all have names, so we have to keep them unless something happens to them. Which it happens out on the farm. We've had some raccoons coming through and taking care of some of the chickens, and that's always sad, especially when they have names. Maybe I should just stop naming them.
Right.
These are chicken eggs, and these are actually from the grocery store. The chicken eggs are smaller than the duck eggs. The duck eggs are going to be about half again as big as that, and both of them have just a gloriously yellow to orange yolk because they're so fresh. With eggs that you get at the grocery store, they've been around a little bit. There's shipping and handling and gathering and washing and all of that kind of stuff, and so these guys are not going to be as brilliantly yellow because some of the yellow has seeped out into the white, and so there's lesson number 1 for the day, egg etiquette.
And while we're on eggs, a good tip that you can actually pull up online, you can Google it. Tie-to-tail eggs are no longer good. Because I'm one that keeps 3 or 4 dozen in my refrigerator, and I have to test the eggs.
Yes.
Right? So what do you do?
I float them, or not float them. If they float, they probably need to go away, and because that means that there's some bacteria that has caused air pockets in the egg, and that's why they're floating.
That's right.
Yes.
So if your eggs sink, then you're good to go.
Yes,
right?
Absolutely. That is exactly right. I put them in the container that I'm going to float them in first, so I don't bounce them on the bottom, and then add the water, and that works out really well.
Great.
Yeah, and it's good to know. And then with farm eggs, there's the wash or not to wash thing, and if you don't wash them, then the chicken and the duck is going to leave on the outside of the egg what's called the bloom, and so that is keeping them safe from bacteria going into the eggs, and I don't refrigerate them. They stay room temperature on the counter, and so with the store-bought eggs, if you put them out on the counter and they've been in the fridge, they're going to sweat a little bit, and there's a possibility that can allow the bacteria to get inside the egg, and so there's even more useless trivia about eggs unless you are selling eggs. You really don't need to know all of that. I guess you do using them at home, but and another thing about eggs with me is that when I crack an egg, I always crack it into a clear container because if I'm cracking it directly into whatever it is I am making and shell gets in there, or I'm not sure if shell gets in
That's a good
there,
point.
and I'm digging around in whatever it is I'm cooking, looking for that shell, or throwing it out and starting over. So if I do it into the clear container first, and then I'm like, oh, good to go. So
That's a
there's
great
another
idea.
little tip.
Great idea.
It's very, very useful to do it that way.
Okay, so what are you going to do first? You're going to crack your eggs?
We'll go ahead and crack the egg. I've got my little trash can right down here, so maybe I don't make too much of a mess. And we're going to use 1 egg in what we're doing for the French toast. And that's the way I do that. And there we go. You go there. We have no shell, and we are good to go. Pretty little egg, right?
It is a pretty egg.
Yes, thank you, girls.
Nice yellow yolk
In we go, yes, ma'am.
You can tell that's a backyard egg compared to grocery store
sure.
sometimes,
We like that
you
a
know.
lot. And so for the French toast, we're also going to use some milk. This is 1% milk because this is what we drink at my house.
That's good.
And it works. And I'm not going to soak the bread for a really long time in this because I don't want it to be soggy when it goes into the frying pan. That was about a 1/4 cup of milk. And then I'm going to put some of the cinnamon and sugar mix in with this. Some is like, you'll find out if it wasn't enough when you eat the French toast. I don't think you can do too much. So that's probably going to be about a 1/2 teaspoon worth of that.
Right.
And that's good. And we're going to sprinkle some more on top of the French toast as it's cooking too.
Yum.
If you're working on a recipe, baking, and the recipe says whisk together the dry ingredients, you should really do that because that's going to make sure that you don't end up with like the baking powder all in this one big clump in whatever it is that you're cooking, and then it's not going to rise properly and it's not going to turn out well.
Right.
So do what the recipe says. Don't skip that little step. We want to make sure that we get this mixed up really well because we don't want a big glob of egg.
That's something we found in our coffee drinks too. If we mix the espresso with the syrups instead of adding them later, it blends everything, the flavors together better.
Right.
There you go. And all of this is a learning process, and I like that. That's Oven Odyssey is more about the journey than the destination. Of course, we want for our food to always be good. That's important. I should probably put on a glove. And so we're going to cook this in this skillet right here, and we can either use butter or some type of oil. Canola.
Olive oil,
We have choices here. This is a smooth extra virgin olive oil.
I love olive oil.
I do too.
Very
I do
healthy.
too.
Very healthy.
This is a robust extra virgin olive oil. You can see it's a little bit different color. It's a little bit darker.
Yep.
That has more of a bite to it, doesn't it?
Yeah, it has more kick. It's you're going to taste more olive in
Now,
that.
the light olive oil that you see like in the grocery store, Susan, do you cook with that a lot? I use that like when I'm frying like salmon patties or...
Yeah, it depends on what you're cooking, and oftentimes the flavor of the olive oil comes out anyway, and so you are not necessarily going to taste that. And so if you're doing something where you want to taste the olive oil, use that robust one, and that's going to give you better results for that. All right, obviously we haven't used this before because we just had to open it.
And what is that? What are we
This
opening
is
now?
it's made by Pompeian, and it is a extra virgin olive oil and avocado oil added together. And so
I've never had that. That looks good.
Yeah.
It looks healthy,
we're all
doesn't
going to
it?
find out about that, and we will try that today since we have interest in that. And this doesn't have any propellants in it. I don't know how they make it work like it does, but it comes out without the propellants. And so we're going to put enough on here so that you can smell that, can't you? The olive and the
Avocado.
It does smell good.
Nice.
Yes, it
nice.
does.
So we've got that. These little jobbies here, the little grilly things, little brother and I thought we were so brilliant when we found these things and bought them. And then the other day I was in Wally World and they were in the camping section, and I was like, you're not so smart. It's already going on. It was already a thing.
So that's just a little propane.
It's butane.
Yeah, butane, okay.
Yeah, and so
Oh, nice.
You can kick it on just like that. That's probably too close.
Turns on very easy.
It does, and it's got a good regulator
So,
on it too.
y'all listen to what she's saying. This is great. Like, I know me and my husband like to go camping.
For sure.
That's a great idea because you could actually sit it outside.
Oh yeah.
You could actually cook, you know,
Yes.
under the awnings.
And it's these things here on the sides keep the wind from being a problem.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
that
nice.
works really well. And so I'm not really. Oh, that's not good. Let's turn it back on. We don't want really a hot skillet.
Right.
If you make a grilled cheese, you want kind of that temperature for your skillet, like you would do a grilled cheese.
And we're just using some regular bread, right, Susan?
I looked
Some
for
Arnold.
bread that was big enough. This is Arnold's country style white.
Right.
I wanted a big enough piece of bread so that we could actually cook an egg in the middle of the French toast.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Which,
that's
you
not
know,
really-
with children, of course, mine, you know, when they were young, I used the little white bread. You know, it was quick for the
Oh,
French
yeah.
toast. This makes those so much more flavorful. Like sourdough
Exactly.
bread, I know Arnold, I
thought
think,
about
makes that
sourdough
too,
for
don't
this.
they?
I thought about sourdough for this, but-
it's very good, I think, for your digestive system as well, from
Yes,
what I've read
yes.
about it.
You know,
So
I have a lot of friends that are eating gluten-free, and so I've developed some recipes that are good for them to be able to, you know, enjoy something and still.
Really good gluten-free recipes.
Thank you. Yeah, that brownie really is to die for, and I, you know, I didn't make that recipe. I read that recipe, and then the reason that I did that was because one of my farmers market customers has a daughter that I'm gonna put a little bit of butter in here too. Has a daughter that eats
we're going to
gluten-free.
let this kind of get her, she's going to prepare it. And then we're going to go to a quick commercial break in just a few seconds.
Very good.
But this looks so delicious. Okay, we've
So
got
far,
the butter
so good,
going.
guys. You know, just a little butter. Yes, a little butter makes everything better.
Yes, it does.
Indeed.
And you just kind of float the butter around a little bit.
And it helps me see what temperature my pan is also. So that's pretty toasty warm, and I think that's going to be just perfect for what we're doing. This pan has got an all aluminum bottom in it, so it holds the heat well, and it distributes the heat evenly throughout the pan. I think it's a Blue Diamond or something like that, commercial for Blue
Okay,
Diamond.
we're going to take a quick break, and we will be right back
Yay.
with more In Style Cooking and Community.
I want to live. The leading cause of death of young Americans like me is gun violence, and oftentimes tied to substance misuse. NBA, NFL, NCAA, most of you look like me, and our communities need you now more than ever. Let's make I Want to Live more than just a hashtag. Let's make it a movement. I am a baller against bullets.
I'm Alan Parnell with Parnell Insurance Agency. We've been here in Oxford and Alabama, Tallapoosa, Georgia since 1990. With Auto Owners Insurance, we're able to give customers competitive pricing along with excellent coverages. Parnell Insurance can handle all of your personal, commercial, and life insurance needs. We have a very experienced staff, both personal and commercial. All together, we've got about 125 years experience. Come see what our insurance agency can do for you in Oxford, Alabama, and Tallapoosa, Georgia.
Auto Owners Insurance.
Hey guys, this is Blair Smith at Pediatrics Plus here in Anniston, located on Henry Road. I'm over here on the well side, but we do also have a sick side urgent care if you need us. We are more than happy to see you guys. Just come on, check us out if you get a fever, cough, or cold, or want to come in for a good checkup. Thank you.
Backus Bibles and Books is dedicated to providing churches as well as individuals with products and services geared towards strengthening every relationship with Christ. We specialize in Bibles, Bible imprints, Bible restoration, church supplies, home decor, gifts, and apparel. Call us at 256-201-1202 or visit us Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. at 1100 Highway Drive in Oxford, Alabama. We look forward to serving you, equipping the people of God to expand the kingdom of God.
The Civilian Marksmanship Program, also known as CMP, is a national organization dedicated to training and educating U.S. citizens in responsible uses of firearms and air guns through gun safety training, marksmanship training, and competitions. Their vision is to lead the nation in marksmanship excellence, providing safe, high-quality, and innovative programs with a focus on youth. For more information about the CMP and upcoming events, visit thecmp.org.
The weather is warming up and spring is just around the corner at Miller Sand and Landscape Supply. I'm Craig Miller and we've got something for everyone. From bulk materials like sand, gravel, and mulch to beautiful outdoor decor to make your outdoor living space the envy of the neighborhood. See our beautiful selection of Mazzarelli fountains, flowers to brighten your garden, and an outdoor center loaded with beautiful decor. Whether you need a little or a lot, visit Miller Sand and Landscape Supply.
Welcome back to In Style Cooking and Community with me, your host, Kathy Tillery, and co-host Susan Shipman.
Hello.
And we have wonderful Jerod Snider with us today from Cold Coffee. And we're excited about hearing more about the Cold Coffee shop. It's a great new little shop here in Calhoun County. It's located up in Anniston, Alabama. And we're going to talk to him about a lot of things happening with it coming up in our community segment. But right now we're getting back to Susan, and she is cooking her French toast.
Yeah, I'm gonna do this one whole, all French toasty. I just put some more cinnamon and sugar. So I ran the bread through this. I missed an edge apparently. Should have had a flat dish to do this. I had a friend that used to talk like that and spilled strawberries all over the kitchen. Anyway, so we're going to let that do its thing. It's not going to take a really long time. If you've ever cooked a grilled cheese, it's going to be about the same. Grilled cheese takes a little longer because you want the cheese to melt. So we're going to do that one like that, and then we are going to take the middle out of one of these and experiment with the egg in the middle. My auntie used to do this, yes, because it's fun and it's a great way to get kids, involved in eating something healthy. Will you hand me one of those little plates?
I sure will.
Thank you, ma'am. Eating something healthy, because sometimes that's a challenge with children, but this kind of makes it all fun. So there's that. Now we're gonna good. Not
okay,
sticky.
now this I've never seen, so I'm really excited. Have you, Jerod? I've never seen this.
You haven't watched the dip? Okay. All right. Well, we're gonna see if we're ready to flip that baby over.
And while she is flipping that, we will talk a little bit about something else that you need to know. Susan owns Oven Odyssey.
Indeed.
So you do a lot of catering, right, Susan?
I do enough catering, yes. As a one-girl shop, I get volunteers when we have a bigger thing to come and help with mostly the getting into the building stuff.
And there's her number. You are welcome to call her, please, at 938-899-4222, and that's the Oven Odyssey, and she does catering, weddings. I believe you said you've got a big graduation coming up real soon.
Yes, I'm very excited about that.
Please call ahead. How much notice do you really need, Susan, for that? About a week or two?
It depends on how many people are going to be at the occasion. If it's going to be a bunch, if it's going to be 50 or above, I need some good lead time on that to be able to do the shopping that needs to be done and to figure out how to do whatever it is you want done.
Right.
So yeah, a week lead time is really good. On all the baked products, just the day before is good for me. And then we also do meals ready for you, Murphy meals that are about $15 each usually, and it'll feed you 1.5 times, and been known to deliver if I have enough people in the order for delivery. I'm taking some stuff actually to Riverview Hospital on my way to the Atala Farmers Market on June the 5th.
Very nice. Oh, and when's the next farmers market coming up? Do you know?
The Jacksonville Farmers Market is, not have too much juice in it. Jacksonville Farmers Market is again on Saturday. It's every Saturday from 7 until noon. early April through the end of October. The Anniston Market is 7 until 11, and Jacksonville Market is at 911 Public Safety Drive southwest. That's behind the Jacksonville Walmart. And oh wait.
So while she's doing this little part here, she's fixing to break another egg. Be sure to download the TV24 WEAC app on your phone, and then that way you can watch the shows. And they have great shows and a lot of sports and community area, football, basketball. They have a lot of things like that all the parents love to
Absolutely.
lift up their children in the
Ellen
sports.
Tibbetts does a
Yes.
show on
Sports.
and some elder care things as well. And she's really good at what she does. She does her research.
And if you can see that, that is phenomenal.
We're just
Tilt
gonna
that
find out if
up
it's
so they can
phenomenal.
see that. So he's in the fryer there.
little egg.
Can you see that? Isn't that cool?
Fun.
I've never done
Fun
that.
for kids. See,
Yes.
you're going to go home and do this. I know you are.
I'll do it for my grandchildren.
There you go.
Now I have 3 grandchildren.
We need any tips for kids?
Yes, that's
Oh
right.
my goodness. Don't your
That's
kids
right.
eat mostly everything?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, there's always one like my son. He was
Yeah.
the athlete. He ate everything. Turnip greens,
My
you know,
sister
all the good vegetables. The
Wouldn't
girls,
eat anything.
no.
My
No,
sister
the
was
girls were-
awful. She's like, I'll give you this if you eat my peas.
And my daughter's a little more picky than my son, for sure.
Yeah, it's terrible. My daughter says, I'm trying to expose her to all these good foods, but
You know, all you can
children
do
are
is take them to
children.
the water. You can't-
That's right.
I broke the egg. I'm very sad by that.
It still looks great, though.
It's going to be fun.
That is phenomenal.
That's pretty.
And then what kind of syrup do you usually use? Maple? I love maple
You know,
syrup, but
I'm not a big syrup connoisseur. I
Right.
just use something that it doesn't cost very much. Really, is
like
my big
just the
standard.
regular pancake,
Any old-
generic,
yeah,
whatever.
I'm an any
Yeah.
old syrup kind of girl. Some people are.
Yep.
You know, it's like
But-
barbecue sauce. People are real funny about the barbecue sauce. I'm like, I don't care.
So this is just like regular table syrup.
Yes,
Right.
yes.
Okay,
just
like Miss
plain
Butter.
old,
Well, it's
yes.
not Miss
something-
Butterworth
well, it's
anymore.
kind of
it's
like
another
that.
name,
Yeah,
but-
that's probably a
Right.
store brand actually.
Yeah,
Because I'm
I
cheap.
love maple syrup though. It's very thin and watery, but of course when you're raising children, you try to be more economical.
Absolutely.
So actually, you buy this and you add a little water and you microwave it to make it that hot running.
Okay.
When your children are young,
Yep.
you know, makes it last a little longer. Now that everybody's grown, we can actually use maple syrup.
Yes. Yes. Okay. Well, we're going to take this out of here, get closer to the plate so nothing bad happens. And you can also use that extra little piece there to make sure you get all of the runny that's in the egg. Unless you're not a runny egg person, then I'm sorry that you're not. You're missing out.
Well,
You're missing out. We're gonna
I'm
do
a
little bit
scrambled
more
egg girl.
Butter and I'm an any old way you fix some
Yeah,
egg
I'm a
girl.
scrambled egg girl,
I'm not
but-
really a big fan of quiche. I don't know why, but maybe it's a texture thing with me. I'm not a big fan
Now,
of
I
quiche.
love. You know what I would love to do, Susan? We need to do down the road. Now that we're talking about eggs, I would love to do like a spinach egg dish.
Frittata.
Those are so yummy.
I saw in a magazine these deviled eggs that were done all kind of bougie way.
Right.
And I thought, you know, that would be really fun to see if we can do that, to test drive that and see how it works. And so we might do that too.
Yeah.
They were really, really good looking eggs.
Yeah, that is one thing all the kids and grandkids love, and that is deviled eggs.
Deviled
they say
eggs,
I
for sure.
make the best. And actually, probably what the trick is, I don't use dill pickles. I use sweet relish
Okay.
in my deviled eggs.
I
My
thought
daughter-
everybody did.
No, a lot of people use dill. You know, my husband likes dill pickle in his tuna
What's wrong
salad.
with him? Oh yeah, that's
where
good.
I love
That's
sweet
good.
relish
Yeah.
in my tuna salad with onions and.
My daughter won't call them deviled eggs, though. She calls them angel eggs.
Oh, does she really? Oh, how
that.
It's an egg and a deviled egg.
sweet!
That is great.
That is sweet.
I had a lady at the farmer's market. There was a one of the tomatoes that I grew. It looks like a pepper, and it's deviled something. And she said, "I ain't buying that. Nothing with the word devil in it." I'm like, okay, sorry if I offended
I
you. It's
think, I
just a
think
tomato.
how the deviled come. Now I'm just guessing. You all can let us know about that. But I'm thinking it's because we add paprika.
For sure. I
You
think
know,
so,
that
yeah.
little, that red that
Yeah.
goes, sprinkles on top of your deviled eggs. And actually, I use it on potato salad as well, you
yeah.
know.
I have paprika peppers growing in my garden that are going to be turned into smoked paprika. So I'm excited about that. The whole garden thing is just a scream for me. You know, you put seeds in the ground and God gives water and sunshine and you get food. And I think that's just fabulously spiritual.
That is the. I love fresh tomatoes. I actually was doing a pot garden while while our French toast is cooking. We can chat a minute. I actually love doing fresh tomatoes, and I actually was doing them in pots. And my husband said, I've had enough of all these pots waiting around. Because I had like 16 pots with tomato
that's
plants.
kind of a
So
thing.
he actually built me a nice little flower bed.
Way to go, hubby.
And yeah, he did.
Excellent.
He did really good. And so now I have all my tomatoes, and I actually have basil in there. You know, basil's
I have
really
some basil
good
growing.
to keep the bugs away.
And parsley.
Okay.
It helps
Marigolds
the
are really great
tomatoes.
for keeping bugs away.
Really?
Yes. And
I did
that's
not
a
know
volunteer
that.
from last year's marigold. So that's always
That's
fun.
a great tip.
Yes,
great
marigolds
tip.
around the garden, and that will help deter some of the pests.
Yeah, I noticed I don't have the bugs on my tomatoes. Of course, I still use the old-timey little 7 dust.
Yeah.
That way I can wash it off.
I try to go
You know?
organic as much as possible. The fire ants. Now, this is a thing that God and I are going to have to
yeah.
really talk about when we get there. It's like, why? Just help me know why. Because those little guys, it doesn't matter where I am, I pick up a fire ant. It's because I'm so tasty, I know, but I could do without that.
You're too sweet.
I must be, because they really enjoy that. It's not really getting done for me.
How much time a week do you think you work in the garden?
Not a whole lot. Probably 10 hours a week now, but it'll
Okay.
be way more than that when we start actually having
Yeah,
food.
summertime.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm super
Do
excited
you plant
about that.
everything?
What does
Like
that mean
squash,
exactly? I have squash,
cucumbers,
yes. Broccoli,
corn, green
corn.
beans?
We have silver queen corn. We have
Oh,
blue,
Silver Queen's so good.
Blue Lake pole beans and tomatoes of many different varieties, and I have coriander or that's hot enough.
We got a couple
Put the
more
smoke
minutes.
alarm on the other day in here.
Oh yeah, that's looking
and
good.
so
Smells good.
I have lots of herbs in the garden. Dill, my dill's looking really good. You know, it has rained so much, and I'm great about. We were in a drought zone, and I know that, and okay, we're not anymore, and so.
I've never grown herbs now. My mom, you know, I'm the country girl.
Me too.
When I was
It's
young,
not hard, though.
my grandparents, my mom, the big garden, pick the green beans, shell the peas.
Yes.
Now though, I
Purple
just
hole,
do
your fingers get
tomatoes. I do lots of tomatoes
Yes.
and the little cherry tomatoes.
Oh
Yes.
yeah, that's
Those
my
are
snack.
good. Yes,
Good.
they're so
I'll bring
good.
you some of those when we
so
start
good.
having a bunch of them.
So
Yes.
good. And I've got some already producing.
Oh,
The little
you're
cherry
killing me.
tomatoes, but only a couple plants.
Okay,
You know?
well, you got baby tomatoes on your plants. Is that what you're saying?
Uh-huh.
I'm so proud for you.
All right, we've got
All right,
one.
here we
We're
go.
going to wrap
We
this up, this
are
little
just
segment, and then we're
about
going to go
done
to a
here.
break just here in just a few seconds.
Lovely. So those
That
are
is looking divine.
that is good, isn't it?
Can you
Yeah.
show us that? Look how
pretty
good that
food.
looks.
You know, you eat with your eyes first, and so it's
Yum.
important that food has a nice presentation. You can
Yes,
put
it
ugly
is.
food on a pretty plate, and it looks better, right?
Right.
Yes. Ugly
And that's
food.
when you tell your kids, I promise it tastes really good, even though it doesn't look good.
You know, I heard something on TV the other day about breaking your kids into new things. It's like you just keep trying. You don't say, you know, the broccoli, the little trees, yeah.
Right.
You don't give up after the first, I ain't eating that thing. You know, you keep trying and
Right.
keep trying and keep trying, and eventually you wear them down, and they.
Right. Well, we're going to take a little break, but before we do, I want to say thank you, Jerod Snider's here from Cold Coffee,
Yay!
and
My
Susan
favorite
Shipman,
coffee
our
shop.
co-host here, In Style Cooking and Community, and I'm Kathy Tillery, and thank you so much for joining us. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back to eat some yummy French
Yes.
toast.
Yes.
Hey, this is Jason at Reeves Insurance. Just want to say a quick thank you to all of our customers for your support over the years. We now have offices in Anniston, Alexandria, and Oxford in order to serve you better. So stop in and see me or any of our experienced staff and let us shop for you. We'll find you the best price and the best coverage available. Thank you.
On average, a tow truck operator is killed every 6 days in the United States. A tragic, yet preventable event. The fact is, most people don't know what it's like being a tow truck operator. The dangers that occur while servicing a roadside vehicle are real. However, you can make a difference to help lower this statistic and save lives by simply slowing down and moving over. This simple task can prevent an unnecessary death and allow workers to make it home to the families waiting for them. After all, it's the law in all 50 states for good reason. Do your part so they can live another day and be there for you when you need them. Move over. Their lives don't belong to you.
I want to live. The leading cause of death of young Americans like me is gun violence, and oftentimes tied to substance misuse. NBA, NFL, NCAA, most of you look like me, and our communities need you now more than ever. Let's make I want to live more than just a hashtag. Let's make it a movement. I am a baller against bullets.
I'm Alan Parnell with Parnell Insurance Agency. We've been here in Oxford and Alabama, Tallapoosa, Georgia since 1990. With Auto Owners Insurance, we're able to give customers competitive pricing along with excellent coverages. Parnell Insurance can handle all of your personal, commercial, and life insurance needs. We have a very experienced staff, both personal and commercial. All together, we've got about 125 years experience. Come see what our insurance agency can do for you in Oxford, Alabama, and Tallapoosa, Georgia.
Auto Owners Insurance.
Welcome back to In Style Cooking and Community. I'm Kathy Tillery, your host, and Susan Shipman, our co-host here, and fabulous owner of Oven Odyssey.
Thank you.
Yes, she actually does a lot of cooking for other people.
I enjoy cooking I enjoy other people being pleased with the cooking that I do.
And we have Jerod with us today.
Jerod Snider
of Cold Coffee.
Yes, ma'am.
And we're going to talk more about that. So you better hang around. This is the cooking segments we're in right now, but we're going to talk about some great things coming up at Cold Coffee with Jerod in just a little bit. We're going to have a nice sit down with him.
And so I just put a little bit of sea salt on the egg portion of our deal here. I don't know, Jerod, how you are about eating other people's food, but I'm going to eat my food.
Yum,
I love
look at
any
there.
food.
There you go. Okay.
Especially made by someone who knows how to cook.
Syrup.
That's supposed to be me, kind of,
and
right?
look,
Yes.
you know, Susan did not give me a fork because if you eat French toast without syrup, it's a finger food.
And it doesn't count. If
That's
you
right,
eat
it's a
standing
finger
up.
food.
Little brother said if you eat over the sink, it does not count
Right.
as a meal. I'm with that.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Okay,
Here I
so
go.
we're tasting. Here we go.
We're tasting.
And I love cinnamon.
Oh, I have napkins down there,
I
too.
love cinnamon. Okay.
That does not suck. That is good.
That's very good. And mine's without syrup. And it's delicious.
syrup?
We
It's
could do
delicious.
this every day, couldn't we?
Because
There's
the
an egg under
cinnamon
there
sugar
somewhere.
is very delicious.
Nice.
And while
And
we're
butter.
chowing down on this wonderful French toast, I want to actually talk about one of our sponsors, Aaron Griffith with ERA King Real Estate. And I think he'll pull up the graphic for us right here. Please give her a call. Erin Griffith, she's a realtor right here in Calhoun County. She also services Cherokee County and surrounding counties, if you have some properties that you would like to get on the market, or if you're looking for a new home or some land or some even commercial property, I'm sure she'd be more than happy to help you. Please contact her at Erin W at eraking.com. And also her phone number is 256-283-0632. Beautiful young lady.
Erin, I think
she
I
is
know
so
her.
sweet.
She
Yes,
is
she is. Actually, I knew her many years ago from the Quintard Mall. She used to do
Okay,
a lot of
that's
their
it.
marketing many years ago. That was actually when I did a morning show locally here for Calhoun County. Wonderful young lady. And then Oven Odyssey we talked about a few minutes ago.
Yes.
Please call Susan if you need some catering done.
We make a mean cheese straw. We're going to be looking at that. And sausage balls are outstanding. The banana nut bread is yummy. We have that also in a gluten-free version. And we make a gluten-free brownie that will change your life.
Okay, did y'all get the egg in there?
That was
Y'all,
the
this
first
is
part I ate.
delicious. Can you see this? I
Mine's all
think
gone. but-
if they'll do a little shot of this, this is really great. The egg is in there. You see that?
Isn't that cute?
Yes. What a great way to get children to eat eggs
For
that
sure.
don't like eggs. You know, my granddaughter, that's 3, she does not like eggs. That is a good
You can do a
sneaky
scrambled
way.
egg like that too.
This is a good sneaky way to get her to eat eggs. And this
Susan,
is
do you
delicious.
cater breakfast too?
Heck yeah. Yes, absolutely. If it's not way too
And
early.
actually, I'm going to tell a secret, something great about our community. At Cold Coffee that Jerod owns, Susan puts her baked goods in there. So you can actually get some of her breads. You have,
Yes.
what do you have? What do you put
banana
in his
nut
shop?
bread and banana bread with no nuts and gluten-free banana nut bread and zucchini bread and the killer brownie.
I eat
That's-
way too many of the zucchini bread and the brownie.
You know, it's like with the zucchini bread, that's a vegetable after
Right.
all, so that's practically okay.
Yeah,
The
it's-
brownie is not okay. It's got so much chocolate, it ought to be illegal.
It's so good.
Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. This is great.
Thank you.
This is very, very, very good. I can't eat too much because then I'll be thirsty and
I can't eat too much.
then I'll be
I'm good
ready
with
to
that,
eat some more
eating
because
too
I
much.
love to eat now that you know that's the one thing you love as you get older. My husband loves food too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
He loves grilled ribs, steaks. Things on the grill. He likes to grill. Now, I like cooking indoors, so I'm not a griller. I don't do
Mr.
that.
Shipman expects for there to be food on a regular basis at our house. Cooked food on a regular
Every
basis.
night on the
Honey,
table. Yep,
something
that's my
like
house.
that. And
Yeah.
it's what are
That's
we eating
my
tonight?
house.
I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
care. You tell me.
Well, my husband will say, "What's for supper?" And I'll tell him. You know, a lot of times I'll do something simple that I can bake or
Yep.
put in the crock pot. But one of his favorites is cube steak casserole. It's really
sounds
good.
lovely.
And then another one is Kaneka sausage that's in a soup. It's like
local,
turnip
that's good.
greens,
Oh, yeah.
navy
Yeah.
beans.
I love
Have
that.
you had that?
have, yes, ma'am.
And you add rotel and a little
So
chicken
good.
broth. We'll have to do some of those, Susan.
When
We'll
the
have to do
greens come
some
into
of
season,
those.
we will do that.
Yes.
We will absolutely do
I'll
that.
bring the Kaneka sausage and you bring the greens and I can bring the navy beans and I think it's Great Northern beans that goes in that, if I remember correctly, and it's very
Yes.
good.
Yes,
and
it sounds lovely.
That's not my recipe. I do not take any credit for that. That was something I Googled and found, and my
Perfect.
husband loves
Yes.
it. Yeah.
You know,
I could
consult the Google and we.
Yes.
Greens,
Yes.
I could eat greens every day if you have any left over. I'll take them.
Excellent. Good. That's good to know.
Turnip
because
greens,
are-
collard
Yeah.
greens,
Any
yes.
kind of greens.
Those are very healthy.
They are.
Very healthy for you too
Well, they're
as
not
well.
after I put the bacon grease in.
Oh,
so-
no, I don't do that. I add bacon bits,
Okay.
to give it a little flavor, but it's not as
Nice.
much sodium as like adding a piece of
True.
pork or a strip of bacon.
We may have to rethink that at my house, so
Yeah.
we'll.
Yes,
with
yes.
the- Yep.
All right, well, we're going to take a quick break, and then we
Excellent.
will be back with our guest, Jerod Snider, and he's going to tell us a lot about cold coffee. So stay with us. We'll be right back.
Hey guys, this is Blair Smith at Pediatrics Plus here in Anniston, located on Henry Road. I'm over here on the well side, but we do also have a sick side urgent care if you need us. We are more than happy to see you guys. Just come on, check us out if you get a fever, cough, or cold, or want to come in for a good checkup. Thank you.
Backus Bibles and Books is dedicated to providing churches as well as individuals with products and services geared towards strengthening every relationship with Christ. We specialize in Bibles, Bible imprints, Bible restoration, church supplies, home decor, gifts, and apparel. Call us at 256-201-1202 or visit us Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. at 1100 Highway Drive in Oxford, Alabama. We look forward to serving you, equipping the people of God to expand the kingdom of God.
The Civilian Marksmanship Program, also known as CMP, is a national organization dedicated to training and educating U.S. citizens in responsible uses of firearms and air guns through gun safety training, marksmanship training, and competitions. Their vision is to lead the nation in marksmanship excellence, providing safe, high-quality, and innovative programs with a focus on youth. For more information about the CMP and upcoming events, visit thecmp.org.
The weather is warming up and spring is just around the corner at Miller Sand and Landscape Supply. I'm Craig Miller, and we've got something for everyone. From bulk materials like sand, gravel, and mulch to beautiful outdoor decor to make your outdoor living space the envy of the neighborhood. See our beautiful selection of Mazzarelli fountains, flowers to brighten your garden, and an outdoor center loaded with beautiful decor. Whether you need a little or a lot, visit Miller Sand and Landscape Supply.
Hey, this is Jason at Reeves Insurance. Just want to say a quick thank you to all of our customers for your support over the years. We now have offices in Anniston, Alexandria, and Oxford in order to serve you better. So stop in and see me or any of our experienced staff and let us shop for you to find you the best price and the best coverage available. Thank you.
On average, a tow truck operator is killed every 6 days in the United States. A tragic, yet preventable event. The fact is, most people don't know what it's like being a tow truck operator. The dangers that occur while servicing a roadside vehicle are real. However, you can make a difference to help lower this statistic and save lives by simply slowing down and moving over. This simple task can prevent an unnecessary death and allow workers to make it home to the families waiting for them. After all, it's the law in all 50 states for good reason. Do your part so they can live another day and be there for you when you need them. Move over. Their lives don't belong to you.
Welcome back to In Style, Cooking, and the Community. Thank you so much for joining us. I hope you joined us for our first half of the hour. We actually did some fun things in the kitchen with Susan.
Yes, and
Susan
butter.
Shipman is actually our co-host, and we have a wonderful guest here today, Jerod with Cold Coffee. He is going to tell us a little bit about the history, and I'm so excited to hear. I want to know, when did you get started in all this, Jerod, actually?
Well, we never had a dream or never thought we would open up a coffee shop or get into coffee. So what happened was, in 2016, my wife and I and my daughter, who was 7 months at the time, moved to Peru in South America to do missions work. And we were working with a nonprofit, did like water filters, food distributions, and helped start a church down there. So we lived down there for a little over 2 years. But after being there about a year, one of the girls in our children's program came to me one day and brought me a little Ziploc bag with some coffee in it.
Wow.
And she said it was from her dad's farm. And I said, we've known her since 2011 when we first went, before we lived there, that they never told me they did coffee. And so I just took it home and brewed it, and I thought, wow, this is really good coffee. And next time I saw her, I said, that coffee was the best coffee I've ever had. At the time, I didn't know anything about coffee.
So you weren't even a coffee drinker yet?
Not much.
Really?
Every now and then. My wife drank a lot more coffee than I did.
Right.
We had a little espresso machine before we moved to Peru, and she would make espresso. I hardly ever drank coffee. I don't need it for the energy aspect. That's for sure.
I have a lot of energy too.
Yeah, but she went to college and through all that, of course, drinking coffee, studying and stuff. But yeah, I never didn't know anything about coffee really. So I told her that was the best coffee I'd ever had, and it was at the time. And then a few weeks later, she said, hey, my dad would like to talk to you. So I went over to their house one night, and her dad asked if I could help them get their coffee to the U.S. because he heard if they could find somebody to sell it to in the U.S. to get a lot more money for it, obviously. At the time, they were selling their coffee, which most people do in Peru. They sell their coffee for the price of seconds, which are like the defect beans. And your larger companies, that's what they're buying, and they do super dark roast, and it tastes okay because of that. And he was selling a really good quality coffee for the price of beans that were defects, pretty much. I didn't know anything about coffee, so I told him, out of ignorance, I think, I just said, sure, we'll get your coffee to the U.S., we'll figure it out. Because that's what I do.
Yeah, sure.
Went back home and started calling some people I knew in the States, and a friend of mine told me, you should talk with this company in Birmingham. Another friend told me the same thing, so I contacted them out of the blue, and they said, sure, just get us some samples if you can. So my family had come down to visit. I sent some samples back to them. They got them to Nonfiction Coffee Roasters in Birmingham.
Wow.
And they tasted it and called me next time we talked. He said, we'll take all you can get if you can get it to us. And I said, yeah, we'll get it to you. I had no idea what that entailed.
You didn't know what you were getting into, but
exporting, and they have a Sunat tax system down there.
Wow.
And so yeah, we just started going literally door to door from the different co-ops that exported coffee at the time. And I think we probably went to 30, and they were like, no, we can't do that. No, we don't do that. Not unless it's our coffee. We don't do that. And then I showed up to the last one, headed back out of the jungle. And there was a young guy named Jesus that works for La Floridita Coffee Cooperative down there. And he said, yeah, absolutely, we can get it. We'll ship it with this other coffee. It'll go to California, and they'll ship it to you. I said, perfect. Here's $6,000. We'll see.
Right.
At the same time.
Yeah.
At the same.
So you took this risk, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And what were you thinking then? Oh God, I hope this works out, or?
Yeah, I really didn't know what to expect. Shortly after that, we started that whole process. We decided to move back to the States. So me and my wife decided it was time for us to move back here. We felt like we were supposed to. And then kind of through that whole process, I thought, well, if we're gonna get the coffee back, we might as well try to sell it ourselves. So I started learning about coffee, drinking more coffee everywhere I went in Peru, trying to find just to develop some sort of palate for coffee. Tons of YouTube videos, how to make coffee.
Sleepless nights.
Sleepless
from all the
nights.
coffee.
Oh yeah. Way too many espresso shots.
A lot of coffee, yeah.
Yeah. But the coffee got here. We moved back here, and like a month later, the coffee showed up. Nice. And started learning how to roast. They're at Nonfiction in Birmingham. They taught me how to roast, and they also sold some of Gregorio's coffee from Peru, and they still do till today, still selling it. And we started with a little coffee cart about this size.
Wow.
I said, well, if we're going to do it, let's make drinks. And we bought a little espresso machine off of Facebook Marketplace and a grinder, and set up, I think our first event was in Gadsden, actually. Did a Christmas thing and kind of figured out that the drinks were probably terrible. Now that I look back on it, I had no idea what I was doing. People said they liked it. The coffee was super fresh. We knew that. So started with a coffee cart, did that for a year. Decided it was a lot of work transporting everything, built out a coffee truck, which we had for about a year. And then, which Mr. Davis was nice enough to let us park out here in the parking lot for about during COVID. That's what got us through COVID. And then we decided to start looking at coffee shop options. Not something I thought was a great idea, but it worked out where found the perfect spot in Anniston.
Oh yeah, and it is a great spot.
It is.
It's right on Quintard.
1400.
So if you
yes.
don't know a lot about this area, it's in Calhoun County, and Quintard, which is what Highway 21. They're one straight through Anniston all the way to Oxford from Gadsden. The coffee shop is right there. It's right on the right if you're going towards Oxford, and you have a drive-through.
We have a drive-through that stays extremely busy in the mornings. And yeah, we're right next to the Chamber of Commerce on 14th and Quintard. So.
And tell us a little bit about what are your hours, Jerod?
So our hours during the week are 6 a.m. to 7 p.m.
Okay.
And then on Saturdays, we're open from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. A little shorter day because I do need some sort of rest. So,
How silly is that?
I'm there most of the time. We do all our roasting in-house. We have the roaster
the
in
parking
there.
lot is amazing smelling.
Yeah, when we're roasting, you can smell it for a few blocks away. And all the downtown businesses will ask me, "You roasting today?" And I'm like, "Yeah," because they smelled it down there.
Well, I actually had gone through the drive-through because I like going to yoga at the YMCA, and it's right there. And I thought, this was about a year ago, I guess. When did you open?
We opened
2 years ago,
2
maybe.
2 years ago.
Okay.
February of 2023 is when we opened.
Yeah, and I had thought I'm going to try that coffee shop because Starbucks there's plenty of Starbucks in our area too as well, but it's not local owned. And we need to support our local businesses.
You know, the sense of community that Jerod brings with the coffee shop is enormous. People go there for everything, to do anything, and it's just fabulous that everybody feels comfortable doing that.
Yeah, it's really been amazing to see how much the community has supported us and how much they've rallied behind us. And you'll never know. You never know who you'll see in there having meetings, and it's been really fun. I didn't really expect that. All I was trying to do was help my friends sell their coffee for a little bit more money. That's really the only reason why we got into coffee. I had no idea what all it would turn into.
Right.
And even when we opened the coffee shop, I had no idea that the amount of community that it would create in Anniston, that it had been lacking in that spot. I think there wasn't a coffee shop at the time or a place where you can go and have a meeting or bring your kids and just hang out. So it's been really fun. We have an amazing group of employees. Our team is top notch.
And that is exactly why me and Susan got together, actually with TV24, WEAC, to actually, we're going to try to, that's the goal of this show, is to do some cooking. Now, Susan has a actual, business of an Odyssey, but actually, we're going to do some random cooking, me and her.
Absolutely.
So some shows, if we decide not to have a guest that day, we may do a lot of recipes that day. And then the other side of the show, the In Style, cooking and the community, it was to bring back our community. Now, yes, we're in Calhoun County, but we support all the surrounding counties: Etowah, Jefferson, Talladega,
Cleburne, Cherokee.
Yeah, Cherokee County. So please join us every week. We're going to be on Wednesdays. So, and I believe it's Channel 9.
We think
if you live in Calhoun
it's
County.
9 on Sparklight. It used to be
9
on Cable
Sparklight.
1, so I assume that it's the same.
But you can get us on the
live
web,
stream, and you can
internet.
go to Facebook and YouTube and find the shows.
And I'm so excited about Jerod being our first guest on our community side of the show. Yeah. And I love the coffee, by the way. And I will not say names because we don't want to endorse anything that's not local owned, right, Jerod? But I used to love this latte that I drank for many, many years. And now I can actually get it at your shop. And let me tell you guys, it's a vanilla latte, and it is the bomb. It is so good at cold coffee because that's what I started going through the drive-thru and would pick up after my yoga class, and because I actually stopped drinking them for a couple of years because it was like, okay, I'm getting a little bit too much caffeine. My heart felt like it was running away, and you don't need to have a little tachycardia going on, your heart running away all the time. So I stopped drinking them, so much. But I will say this: when I got one through the drive-thru at your shop, it was great, y'all. I felt great later.
The lavender.
I didn't have that high and low of the caffeine.
Yeah.
So it must be a beautiful blend that you've perfected there.
It is. And we try to keep sugar a little lower. That matters too. With the jittery type feeling, you know, a lot of sugar and a lot of caffeine is not a good combination. So.
Right. And tell us a little bit about the coffees on your menu. I mentioned a latte. Give us a little rundown of the menu that you have, Jerod.
So I drink 99% of the time. I just drink regular coffee or just a shot of espresso. I think my third favorite drink is a cortado, which we now sell a lot of, which is a shot of espresso with just a little bit of milk in it. So it comes in an espresso glass, which is half espresso, half milk.
Right.
And then cappuccinos we have, and then you get into the lattes with all sort of flavors. And then our seasonal drinks are always very popular. We spend a lot of time developing the flavors with our seasonal drinks.
Right.
And those are always the top sellers during
That's like
that season.
October, right? That's pumpkin season, right?
Right now we have a honey featured menu.
Oh, do you? Okay.
So all the drinks on the seasonal menu contain honey for springtime. So
great.
Is that local honey? Do you?
It is East of Boga.
Very good. Yes.
Very, very good.
Absolutely good.
And we have just had a fabulous show today.
A lot of fun.
And thank you for being a part,
Thank you
Jerod,
for
of
having
our
me.
first show right here.
What an honor.
Yeah, and thank you, Susan.
Thank you so
for
much.
your wonderful food
Lots of
talents and the
fun.
gifts that God's given you
Absolutely.
to share with all of us. And if you need her services, she's got a business as well, of an Odyssey. And thank you so much again. I'm Kathy Tillery, and we will see you next week. Have a great week.
I want to live. The leading cause of death of young Americans like me is gun violence, and oftentimes tied to substance misuse. NBA, NFL, NCAA, most of you look like me, and our communities need you now more than ever. Let's make I want to live more than just a hashtag. Let's make it a movement. I am a baller against bullets.
I'm Alan Parnell, the Parnell Insurance Agency. We've been here in Oxford and Alabama, Tallapoosa, Georgia since 1990. With Auto Owners Insurance, we're able to give customers competitive pricing along with excellent coverages. Parnell Insurance can handle all of your personal, commercial, and life insurance needs. We have a very experienced staff, both personal and commercial. All together, we've got about 125 years experience. Come see what our insurance agency can do for you in Oxford, Alabama, and Tallapoosa, Georgia.
Auto Owners Insurance.
Hey guys, this is Blair Smith at Pediatrics Plus here in Anniston, located on Henry Road. I'm over here on the well side, but we do also have a sick side urgent care if you need us. We are more than happy to see you guys. Just come on, check us out if you get a fever, cough, or cold, or want to come in for a good checkup. Thank you.
Backus Bibles and Books is dedicated to providing churches as well as individuals with products and services geared towards strengthening every relationship with Christ. We specialize in Bibles, Bible imprints, Bible restoration, church supplies, home decor, gifts, and apparel. Call us at 256-201-1202 or visit us Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. at 1100 Highway Drive in Oxford, Alabama. We look forward to serving you, equipping the people of God to expand the kingdom of God.
The Civilian Marksmanship Program, also known as CMP, is a national organization dedicated to training and educating U.S. citizens in responsible uses of firearms and air guns through gun safety training, marksmanship training, and competitions. Their vision is to lead the nation in marksmanship excellence, providing safe, high-quality, and innovative programs with a focus on youth. For more information about the CMP and upcoming events, visit thecmp.org.
The weather is warming up and spring is just around the corner at Miller Sand and Landscape Supply. I'm Craig Miller, and we've got something for everyone. From bulk materials like sand, gravel, and mulch to beautiful outdoor decor to make your outdoor living space the envy of the neighborhood. See our beautiful selection of Mazzarelli fountains, flowers to brighten your garden, and an outdoor center loaded with beautiful decor. Whether you need a little or a lot, visit Miller Sand and Landscape Supply.
Hey, this is Jason at Reeves Insurance. Just want to say a quick thank you to all of our customers for your support over the years. We now have offices in Anniston, Alexandria, and Oxford in order to serve you better. So stop in and see me or any of our experienced staff and let us shop for you. We'll find you the best price and the best coverage available. Thank you.